saw this interview with Trina on 103.5 The Beat, 103.5 The Beat. And it just baffled me how some of these people, when they revive themselves and make themselves brand new, they just expect people that they're affected with their behavior to forget who they really are. They think the brand new them erases the fact that they was this certain type of person at one time. So I'm listening to her talk about unity and female artists coming together, and how there's so many different types of women. They look different, they're shaped different, they have their own identity. Women can be very messy, and there's no need for that, because all different women look. Listen, Katrina Laverne Teller has been stuck on looks for a very long time. Looks have nothing to do with character. She always, when she's talking about women and their controversies and their catty behavior, is always about looks. And that's how shallow she is. Her train of thought think that people have differences with people only because of the way they look. That's the conceited and I think it's all about me syndrome. When people have differences with people, it's not necessarily a look. It is a behavior that makes people dislike other people. Behavior. Now, one thing I've learned about the industry, whoever you were before you made it in the industry, you can polish yourself amongst these new people that you brush shoulders with. It's like giving you a second chance to reinvent yourself and become a different person. But the people that knew you before the stardom are going to know the behavior that was given. She's sitting here saying, it's so sad that women can't come together and work together as artists. Well, as far as I knew you from Miami, you were a gatekeeper. Did you not forget when Love and Hip Hop Miami was getting ready to debut, and it was so many women having opinions about you and things to say, and you was like, none of y'all ain't getting on TV. I am TV. If I got anything to do with it, y'all gonna be watching me from TV. Now, how do you go from doing this interview on 103.5 The Beat, saying that women should work together and come together and all this yada, 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 and it's not true? That's not true. Because when you stepped into the Miami scenery as an artist, you were a plant. You were a plant. You wasn't somebody that was gifted with the art. You wasn't somebody that strived and desired to be a rapper. You were a plant. You were somebody that they said, hey, she's light-skinned, she's thick, she has the sex appeal that we need. Let's write some bars for her. And that's what it was. It wasn't we found this girl that really can rap. She got a good 16. She can write her own music. She could get in there and lay that. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. You were somebody that changed careers from off of a strip pole, that came into the industry with no idea how fast you were going to blow up, and you did. Because you and Trick had a hot single called You Don't Know Nan. And you were a plant, Katrina Laverne Teller. You were a plant. If you want to know what the definition of a plant is, Katrina Laverne Teller from Miami, You Don't Know Nan, was a plant. So for you to sit and try to orchestrate what female artists are good and who should come out and who should do this and who should do that, like, Girl, you didn't know the first thing about rap when you got in the industry. It wasn't a desire. It wasn't something you was striving for. Once you were placed there, you did put in the work ethic. You put in the work ethic once you was placed there, but you were a plant. And I don't understand how people can sit on these platforms and make it seem as if they were a positive light their whole entire career. And you were not. You were not a positive light. I remember this young lady that went to school with her brother, God bless the dead. And, you know, the young lady said, well, why Trina don't never do like songs with artists in Miami? Say, my sister, you know, she just got her feet in the game, and she said she don't want to, you know, bring no other women along, and, you know, they end up like, you know, passing her or getting more recognition than her. So she wasn't ready to, you know, work with other women. So all this sitting on hot on 103.5 The Beat, talking about how women should come together and how women so messy and so catty. Girl, you've been messy for years. You've been messy for years. You've been messy down to the young ladies that you put up under your wing as artists, with them with the hopes of thinking that they were going to take off. And they didn't. The young girls didn't take off. Pretty Money, pretty, whatever their name is. And every time somebody inquired about the young ladies, you kind of downplayed who they were. Oh, they're just here to hype you up. Like they never wanted to be a solo artist. Each one of those girls were looking forward to stardom. And you downplayed them behind the scenes. You downplayed a lot of people behind the scenes. Even when it came down to Brianna. I just don't understand how you said, and the way I tell you, people, when I say projection is real, when people are out here projecting, when it came down to Brianna, Trina, you downplayed Brianna. You know why? Because Brianna was much younger than you. She was youthful. She was beautiful. She was actually talented. She started off as a poet like Tupac, transitioned her poetry into rap. Started working with Missy Elliott, brushing shoulders. But that was a young lady that you could have did a song with as well. But you did not. Because anybody that you thought you would have connected with in Miami, you felt like they would surpass you, because each woman that you knew of that was a female artist actually desired to be a rapper and put in the work ethic. You were a plant, Katrina Laverne Teller. That's why you felt threatened by the female artists that were in Miami. You were a plant. And there's no other way to put it. If a male rapper finds a female rapper and transitions her from a stripper to a rapper, and she never had a desire to rap, that is a plant. People that work hard at their craft, that try to execute it and desire to be in the game, are not plants. They are the future. So when you sat on 103.5 The Beat and say, it's so many female artists, and you know, women are so messy and we can come together. And this was just last month. Just last month you did this interview. And I already know where it came from. It came from when I said that you were married to our classmate son. That's where it came from. This out of the blue interview with only 3 comments on YouTube and 4 and 5 comments on YouTube. And it is so many of the videos. It's like 7 of them of you. And it's like only like 2-3 people commenting. Because that was your rebuttal to the video that I did when so many people were reaching out to me after I did that interview. They were telling me that you were married to our classmate son. But to sit there and sit on that platform as though you are encouraging women to come together as a unison. to make a powerful move. Oh, it's so many female rappers in all the different states, in Texas, over there in Venezuela, in all, just talking about all these women. It's so many of us. It's no reason why 500 female rappers can't collaborate. Well, where this energy was at when you were in your prime? Where was this energy to collaborate with anybody in Miami when you were in your prime? Jackie O was waiting for the collaboration. Jackie O, a well-known female artist out of Miami-Dade County, was waiting for the opportunity to do a song with you. You were not the only woman in Miami putting in the work ethic. You were not. You were not the only one. And you wonder where my diss song came from. My diss song came from you being a shallow, self-absorbent, self-centered individual. And it made it easy for me to drop true facts. It made it easy for me to damn near your ass. When I sat and I talked with Jackie, and Jackie told me, I just got a phone call from Trina. So I'm thinking Jackie finna tell me, oh, she want to collaborate with her. They finna lay a song down together. No, that's not what it was. No, because she think everybody is beneath her. She called Jackie O to do a song with her artist, Pretty Money. You mean to tell me you're going to take somebody of that stature under the management of Po' Boy and tell them to work with some Johnny-come-latelys, and no disrespect to Pretty Money, but Jackie O been putting in the work ethics way before Trina was. Jackie been working at this rap thing way before Katrina Laverne Teller. It's just that Katrina Laverne Teller was a plant. So everything that was executed for her was through the label and the ghostwriters. But Jackie O was putting the pen to the pad and writing her own stuff and putting in the energy and the work ethics that proves that you are a real MC. So for you to call this woman and say, I want you to get on the track with my artist, is a slap in the face. It's a major form of disrespect. You guys just got through doing a hosting show at the Ozone Awards as Superwoman, Storm, and Wonder Woman. So that makes y'all on the same even plane. And right after y'all do this trio with K Fox, Trina, and Jackie, you had the audacity to call Jackie to do a song, not with you, but with your artist. Who the fuck do you think you are? And you talk about messy. That was messy. That was extremely messy. That was so disrespectful. And see, before Jackie did this hosting thing with you, and I know she's in a great space now. She has such a forgiving heart. You know, she's found God, and I understand that. But this is story time. We're gonna talk about story time, and we're gonna talk about Dade County facts, true facts from the media speakers. So with that being said, Jackie O thought she had made an alliance with you when you guys worked together as colleagues at this show hosting. But before she did that, she called me and she said, I was offered by Julia Beverly to do this hosting thing. Do you think you're gonna feel some type of way if I, collab and do the hosting with Trina and Jackie was so keen on people respecting her for keeping it real. She knew I had a difference with Trina. So she came to me first because we was hanging for that little short period of time. Me and Jackie was going to the gym, We was going over there to the pit and over town. We just had started vibing. And I told her, no, it's business. Get your money. Especially if they paying you. Like, listen, I don't care what type of malice you may have with people or what type of separation in the industry you may have. When it comes to money, you should be able to work together to get paid. And it's not forcing the hand to be best friends. That's not what it is. It's coming together and get money and knowing business is business. So I told Jackie I don't have a problem with it. I think it's kind of cool. So with that being said, y'all see it. It's over there on YouTube. Trina doing this interview on 103.5 to be talking about women artists that, women can be messy and no woman should be jealous of the next woman. We can come together and collaborate. The same woman that stood on the balcony telling women from Miami that you're not going to get on Love and Hip Hop Miami. You ain't getting on TV. I am TV. That doesn't sound like somebody that want women to come together. That sounds like a gatekeeper. That sounds like a gatekeeper. See, people actions speak louder than their fictitious words. Because over there on that radio station, 103.5, she is lying out of her soul. Just sitting up there just lying out of her soul. What she really means to say is, I want to work with any woman that's willing to kiss my ass. Not all women should come together to work together. I just need to know that you kiss my ass before I work with you. And we just got to keep it real. We got to keep it all the way 100, 1,000. Don't sit over there and make it seem like you're for women unity when the only unity you was with was the women that was already in the game. The women that you collaborated with was women that feet was already in the game. Whether it was Eve, whether it was Lil' Kim, whether it was people that was before you. Jackie O was on the same even plane. She was networking. She was doing songs with well-known artists out of our city. She was collaborating. She was flying in and out of town. She was putting, listen, her team, Po' Boy Management had billboards and flyers and rap trucks. They was doing all this for her. And you gonna ask this girl to do a song with your artist instead of you? Trina, you full of shit. I don't care how well spoken you learned how to speak, pronunciate words, transition into the new you, where you can articulate certain things now. You are still the shallow you. You are still the shallow you. And the reason why you can define the jealousy so much is because you have always been jealous. I remember, God bless the dead, Melissa Cooper. I used to work in the salon with her. It was me, Trick Daddy wife Joy, Keisha, Trina's sister Laura. All of us worked in Hair Trap together. So Laura was trying to get me to be Trina's hype girl. And she was telling about me, Geisha winning all the rap shows. I was beating Rick Ross out. I was beating so many well-known people that y'all know now. I was winning every week. I was winning that money. You hear me? So anyway, she was telling about me. But Melissa was telling me not to do it because Melissa wanted to do it. So Melissa was going behind my back, going over to Trina mama house saying, Mugga, tell Trina to let me be the hype girl. So Trina decided finally to let her be the hype girl. But Melissa came back and told me a story. Say one day she was in the, I think the Icon studio, and Gorilla Tech was the engineer at the time. So she got in the booth because she convinced Gorilla Tech that she wanted to do a song and she wanted him to record. So she got in the booth and started rapping. Trina walks into the studio and Trina's like, she said Trina did just like this now. I can't make this up. Melissa say Trina came in and said, get her out the booth. She hurting my ears. Get out the booth. Get out the booth. Get her out the booth. Trina, you are not one of the best MCs. You are not that girl. Listen, Trina, when you recorded your verse, people had to rap your verse and you had to go in the booth and rap over their voice. Real MCs don't have to rap over somebody else's voice. And you're telling this girl get out because she hurting your ears because you know what? You did not want Gorilla Tech to work with her. You did not want Gorilla Tech to work with another female artist. You wanted to be the only female artist out of Miami. You felt threatened when Melissa got in that booth, so you made her seem like she sounded excruciating, horrible. She was hurting your ears when you couldn't even rap on beat. When someone has to rap a song and you have to follow their voice in the booth, that means they're having a problem, an issue with you staying on beat to make a song. So what does that mean you were? A plant. You were a plant. Now, I can't say you haven't come far in the game. I can't say you haven't grown in the industry because you can only fuck up for so long before you get it right. Rapping became your career. And when rapping became your career, you either had a choice to get better or stay horrible. And I must add that you have gotten better. Your energy is up. Your confidence is up. You know how to rap on beat. It's been almost 30 years. So you had no choice but to excel or go to hell. But to sit on to sit on 103.5 the beat and say that women are messy and they need to come together, you are the queen of messy. You are the queen of throwing rocks and hiding your hand. You have done it for years. And because you are so famous out of our city, people that grew up off of you windmill for you every day. They windmill for you. They like you hating on her. You always coming for her. You've been talking about her for years. You've been. Listen, I've been having the same story for years too. My shit ain't switched up. My shit ain't changed. It ain't gonna moonwalk. It ain't gonna sidewalk. It ain't gonna do nothing but keep expressing itself forward, full-fledged and ahead. By all means necessary. It don't change. A behavior is a behavior. In her mind, women are catty because of people, how they look. That's a shallow mindset to think that people feel a certain way only because of looks. Because you judge people by looks. I don't judge people by looks. I judge people by character. Character. Your character was fucked up in school. It was fucked up out of school. It's been fucked up in your career. And the only people you're not fucked up with is the people that's in the industry because you got a chance to reinvent yourself. But people that knew you personally from out the city, and we ain't talking about your fan base. We ain't talking about the little groupies that hung around you because they loved you as an artist. We talking about the motherfuckers that knew you before you was the baddest bitch. Down from family, friends, schoolmates, and foes. So when we talk about unison, maybe you need to take accountability how you was one of those jealous women, how you was one of them messy women. Because you sit around and say women are messy. You've been messy for years. You didn't want to recognize that Jackie O was a better rapper than you. You felt intimidated. You didn't mind embracing her when you saw her, but you felt threatened by Jackie. And because you was a plant, You had a team of DJs, a team of CEOs, a team of producers. You had a team of people that would not let you fall because they planted you. They're the one that planted the seed. So they built your name and they couldn't let your name be destroyed. So before they let your name be destroyed, they rather back down all these other talented women that were better than you. Jackie was better than you. Hell, I am better than you. And that's a F-A-C-T fact. They felt threatened by me because they wanted me to be all right with you. When I signed with RPM, they was like, oh, they don't want us to distribute your music because they said, why didn't you come for Little Kim? Why did you come for Trina? I don't fucking know Little Kim. I'm not from New York. I'm not from Brooklyn. I'm not from the Boogie Down Bronx. I'm not from Harlem. I'm not from Staten Island. I'm not from Uptown. I'm from Miami-Dade County, Liberty City, 60 and 13. Up the street from the Machiavelli store, across the street from the Poke and Bean Projects. What is you talking about? I made the song about Katrina Laverne Teller because I knew her. I knew her behavior. I know what she gave me. And that's just what it is. People are always trying to tell you what you should do, how you should do it, who you should speak on, who you should not speak on. Just doing the most. I just feel like she need to get it together, own up to her behavior. Maybe she can make amends with a lot of people that feel a certain way about her if she correct the flaws, because you're not squeaky clean. You dirty out here, girl.